Let me start with a question. When MLB announced new media deals with ESPN, NBC, and Netflix, did it feel like a win for fans or did it feel complicated? Because on the surface, this looks like progress. More platforms, bigger names, more access. But the real story here isn't about convenience or exposure. It's about control. Control over distribution, control over data, and control over how baseball positions itself in the sports media economy that's quietly shifting underneath everyone. And once you see it through that lens, these deals look very different. For decades, MLB's national media strategy followed a familiar pattern. Big games lived on broadcast TV. Cable handled volume. Local networks handled the rest. That model worked when cable subscriptions were stable and national windows were scarce. But over the last several years, MLB has been forced to adjust, not because baseball lost relevance, but because the pipes carrying the games started breaking down. Regional sports networks became unstable. Streaming fragmented audiences, and leagues realized exposure alone doesn't pay the bills anymore. So when MLB announces 3-year agreements with ESPN, NBC Universal, and Netflix for the 2026 through 28 seasons, it's not a sudden pivot. It's a calculated response to years of pressure. Let's start with ESPN. ESPN is paying $550 million and in return is acquiring MLB.TV along with a 30-game midweek package, in-market streaming rights for 6 teams, and continued coverage of events like the Little League Classic and Memorial Day games. MLB.TV changing hands is the most important part of this entire announcement. That platform holds subscription revenue, viewing behavior, churn patterns, everything leagues want but don't always control. By aligning MLB.TV with ESPN's ecosystem, baseball isn't chasing reach. It's tying its most valuable digital asset to a company built around live sports monetization. Now NBC. NBC is paying $200 million to take over Sunday Night Baseball and the wild card playoffs round, plus MLB's Sunday leadoff games and select special events. This gives NBC appointment viewing again, Sunday nights, early playoff rounds, games that still matter to advertisers who want large, predictable audiences. For MLB, NBC provides something streaming platforms can't fully replicate yet: mass reach without friction. Turn on the TV, the game is there. And then there's Netflix. Netflix is paying $50 million for the Home Run Derby, additional special events, and rights to the World Baseball Classic in Japan. This is not about weekly games. This is about moments. The Home Run Derby fits Netflix's strengths perfectly. Short window, global interest, easy to package, easy to promote. MLB isn't asking Netflix to become a baseball network. It's asking Netflix to amplify baseball's most shareable events. That distinction matters. Now here's where people stop paying attention, but shouldn't. Fox still holds the World Series, League Championship Series, Division Series, the All-Star Game, and regular season games. TBS still carries postseason rounds and Tuesday night games. Apple TV still runs Friday night baseball doubleheaders. That stability is intentional. MLB did not tear down its foundation, it reinforced it. Fox remains the stage for championships. TBS keeps October depth and midweek consistency. Apple stays as a controlled streaming window with a clean, modern presentation. The new deal sits on top of that structure. They don't replace it. And that tells you the strategy is layered, not reactive. Here's the part I think gets missed. This isn't MLB chasing fans across platforms. It's MLB deciding where it wants leverage. ESPN brings subscription data and cross platform packaging. NBC brings scale and credibility for postseason inventory. Netflix brings global amplification for events that already perform well. And MLB keeps its most valuable crown jewels, like the World Series, right where they are. That's not desperation, that's discipline. It also signals something else. MLB is comfortable being selective. Not every game needs to be everywhere. Not every viewer needs the same product. This approach treats baseball less like a blanket broadcast product and more like a portfolio. If you're a fan, this affects how you experience the sport, even if it doesn't feel obvious yet. Games will feel more segmented, events will feel more intentional, certain moments will be built to travel farther than others. And over time, you'll notice where MLB spends its marketing energy and where it doesn't. This also shapes how teams think about local media, direct-to-consumer options, and future rights negotiations. Nothing here is accidental. So here's what I want to know from you. Do you think MLB is making the right trade-off? More platforms, more control, but a more fragmented viewing experience? Or would you rather see fewer partners and simpler access, even if it limits the league's flexibility? Drop your take in the comments. I'm genuinely curious where fans land on this. MLB's new media deals aren't flashy for the sake of attention. They're structured, they're cautious, and they tell us exactly how the league sees its future. Not as one giant broadcast funnel, but as a set of carefully managed doors. If you want more conversations like this about where sports business decisions meet what fans actually feel, stick around. We've got more coming.